Alexander Volkanovski looks to make the first defense of his second reign as featherweight champion in the main event of Saturday's UFC 325. Standing across from Volkanovski will be the man he defeated to win the vacant title, Diego Lopes. The championship rematch headlines a solid card of fights from Sydney, Australia. UFC 325 also marks the second event in the landmark 7-year media rights deal between UFC and Paramount Skydance and will, as with all UFC cards moving forward, stream live on Paramount Plus for just the cost of a standard subscription. There's fun action fights to be found all over this event. Rafael Fiziev and Mauricio Ruffi are sure to deliver the goods when they clash in a lightweight contest on the main card. Plus, fan favorite Tai Tuivasa is always willing to lay it all on the line when he enters the octagon. He gets a stiff test from rising contender Thaleson Teixeira. And the main card opener could give us another highlight to remember when Quillan Sockeld returns to take on veteran Jamie Mullarkey. Sockeld scored a pair of incredible knockouts in 2025 that left fans speechless, including a head kick of Nazat Haqparast that earned CBS Sports KO of the Year. With so much happening on Saturday night, let's look closer at the full fight card with the latest odds before we get to our staff predictions and picks for the PPV portion of the festivities that you can consider before hitting the sports books. UFC 325 predictions picks. With such a massive main event on tap, the crew at CBS Sports went ahead with predictions and picks for the main card from Brian Campbell, Brent Brookhouse, Shaquille Majuri, Michael Mormile and Brandon Wise. Alexander Volkanovski vs. Diego Lopes predictions. Campbell. Volkanovski appeared to turn back the clock last April when he captured the vacant title by outpointing Lopes. But an honest Lopes, who still managed to drop Volkanovski, admitted after the fight that he failed to follow his corner's game plan and got caught simply following his opponent around in hopes of a knockout. Expect a more seasoned and more dangerous Lopes in the rematch. Not only did he rely on grappling and the traps he set with striking to ultimately finish Jean Silva last September, he has been working relentlessly on rounding out his game. If Lopes does a better job cutting off the cage and using both his size and the threat of the takedown to make the 37-year-old Volkanovski feel his age, this should be a very different fight. And while Volkanovski's chin did hold up during their first fight despite having been fresh off of back-to-back knockout losses, his time at the top may be running out. Lopes via TKO 3. Brookhouse. It's hard to believe that this fight plays out much differently than the first fight unless Volkanovski has aged considerably in the past year. Yes, 37 is old for a fighter, especially a featherweight, but Volkanovski is a uniquely skilled tactician in his ability to not only prepare, but execute a game plan. I don't see any reason to think that losses to Islam Makhachev and Ilia Topuria signal a fighter is done at an elite level, simply that he ran into two of the best fighters on the planet in their prime. Lopes doesn't have a reliable takedown game, which means that this is a striking battle, and Volkanovski is great at working angles and finding timing. Yes, Lopes did hurt Volkanovski in the first fight, but that came in between Volkanovski clearly controlling the rest of the action. I simply don't believe that Lopes can out-game plan and out-execute Volkanovski. Volkanovski via UD. Majuri. If this fight were a year from now, I'd pick Lopes in a heartbeat. The challenger has every physical advantage over the champ: height, reach, durability, and power. Lopes' inexperience cost him the first fight. Volkanovski showcased why he's a featherweight GOAT. He controlled the lead outside foot positioning, feinted brilliantly, and significantly outstruck Lopes. The champ pitched a near-perfect game, yet still gave up 1 or 2 rounds to Lopes' power. That's the worry here. Lopes' physical gifts will become a bigger factor as he narrows the technical gaps. The question is whether Lopes can cover enough distance in 9 months to beat Volkanovski. It will be a much closer second fight, but Volkanovski should have enough in the tank to win a narrow decision. Volkanovski via UD.